For over 75 years, the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list has played a crucial role in catching the nation's worst criminals. This exclusive list includes only individuals the FBI considers to be highly dangerous to society, requiring a history of serious violent crime or a long history of criminal activity. The story began in 1949, when a reporter asked the FBI to name the 10 most elusive criminals to rally the public's help. The Washington Daily News ran their photos on the front page, and the list was born. Since then, nearly 500 fugitives have been captured thanks to citizen reports. Here are the names on the list today. Alejandro Rosales Castillo, the youngest suspect on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list, eluded capture for over 8 years. In 2016, at the age of 26, he murdered his colleague Sandy Lee in a wooded area in Caras County, North Carolina. Shortly thereafter, the victim's car was found at a bus station in Phoenix, Arizona. During the investigation, law enforcement discovered that the crime involved multiple people. In addition to the victim, a woman named Amia Fair and Castillo himself all worked at a restaurant in Charlotte. Police learned that Castillo and Sandy had a brief relationship, but after they broke up, he began dating Amia. Court documents revealed that Sandy had loaned Castillo money, and on August 9th, he sent her a text asking to meet at a quick stop on Eastway Drive, promising to pay her back. However, that's where he attacked, robbed, and killed her, before fleeing to Mexico. In disturbing surveillance footage, Castillo was captured crossing the Mexican border in Nogales, Arizona, accompanied by his girlfriend, Amia. Months later, Amia turned herself in to Mexican authorities and was charged with accessory to murder and vehicle theft. She claimed that she and Castillo were staying with his cousin, but Castillo eventually disappeared without a trace. As of 2/12/4, the FBI has no further leads on his whereabouts, but believes he is still in Mexico. The last known sighting showed him with short hair and shaved sides. Despite a $4 million reward, there have been no significant developments in the case. Among the longest-running fugitives on the list, Alexis Flores was added as the 480th to the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list on June 2, 2007, after having been on the run since the early 2000s. Born in Honduras on July 18, 1975, Flores changed his birth date from 1975 to 1982 and bears a prominent scar on his neck, inherited from an operation following Hurricane Mitch in 1998. The story takes a tragic turn. On a summer day in 2000, 5-year-old Iriana de Jesus was playing when she was kidnapped in broad daylight. When her mother returned, her daughter was missing. It was the beginning of a nightmare. Philadelphia authorities and the community launched a relentless search, but a few weeks later, Iriana's body was found in the basement of an abandoned building. A T-shirt with a political logo, believed to belong to the suspect, was found at the scene. The lead led to a drifter known as Carlos, who turned out to be Alexis Flores. Carlos disappeared soon after the crime, and the case went cold until 2007, when advances in technology led to a breakthrough. The DNA on the shirt belonged to Flores. Identified, it turned out he had been deported to Honduras years earlier, after a theft conviction in Arizona. Flores' ability to elude authorities for years is astonishing. He used aliases, lied about his age, and altered his appearance to confuse those seeking him. He remains on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list to this day. Described as tall, about 130 pounds with scars on his forehead, right cheek and neck, Flores is believed to be hiding in Honduras or Central America. Despite a $4 million reward, no leads have led to his arrest. 24 years later, Iriana's killer remains a shadow, elusive and ungraspable. On April 12, 2015, a CCTV camera captured 2 Dunkin' Donuts employees, a man and a woman, walking toward the back room of the store around 9:30 p.m. They disappeared from view, and seconds later, only the man reappeared, acting as if nothing unusual had happened. A few minutes later, customers alerted the police when they saw no employees around. It was then that officers discovered a horrifying scene: the lifeless body of an Indian woman named Pick, the victim of a brutal murder. The man in the video was later identified as her husband Bhadresh Kumar. According to authorities, the couple had endured heated arguments in the preceding months. Court documents revealed that their visas were about to expire. Pick wanted to return to India, while Bhadresh insisted on remaining in the United States. His twisted response to their conflict was to take her life. After the murder, Bhadresh was last seen taking a cab from a New Jersey hotel to a Newark train station, leaving authorities with no further leads. To raise awareness and prevent him from escaping justice, the FBI placed him on the most wanted list. Today, a $250,000 reward is being offered, but nearly a decade later, he remains at large. Arnaldo Jimenez, born February 19, 1982, is associated with a crime that shocked many and continues to haunt the memory of a tragedy. On May 8, 2019, during the drive home, a heated argument is believed to have escalated into violence, with Arnaldo allegedly stabbing Estrella repeatedly in his Maserati before abandoning her body in the apartment. Estrella's lifeless body was found the next morning, and her family reported her missing. An autopsy confirmed there were no signs of forced entry, but Arnaldo's car was missing. 3 days later, Arnaldo was charged with first-degree murder and unlawful escape, with warrants issued for his arrest. Investigations traced his movements from Chicago to Memphis, then to Arkansas and Houston, until he reached Hatillo, Mexico. In September 2012, police found Arnaldo's Maserati during the arrest of his brother Humberto on drug charges. The vehicle contained traces of blood, confirming suspicions. It is believed that Humberto helped Arnaldo escape to Mexico before returning to the United States. The FBI now believes that Arnaldo is hiding out in Durango, Mexico, specifically near Santiago Papaso or Rosa Amalpas. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to his capture. If he is ever caught, Arnaldo faces a lengthy sentence for first-degree murder and escape, but given his lengthy time on the run, it seems unlikely that he will ever face justice. Donald Eugene Fields II has been wanted by the FBI since 2022 for alleged child sex trafficking in Missouri between 2013 and 2017. According to authorities, Fields allegedly involved a 14-year-old girl in a trade with his friend Ted Sartori Jr., receiving money, vehicles, vacations, and gifts in exchange. His last known residence was in Franklin County, Missouri, but Fields has since appeared to be moving away, working as a pruner and used car salesman to avoid capture. It is believed that Fields may have had additional victims and is currently on the run with Jennifer Griggs, who is also wanted for other crimes. Since 2022, multiple reports have placed him in the Tampa area, leading authorities to distribute posters with his photo on social media, and the FBI has posted billboards in areas where he may have traveled. However, Fields appears to have eluded police. In 2024, Sartori pleaded guilty and faces up to 30 years in prison and a $225,000 restitution order for the victim. Sentencing is expected in November 2024. According to the FBI, Fields has scars on his body and a tribal tattoo on his right shoulder. Despite law enforcement efforts, he remains at large, and authorities are urging the public to consider him a dangerous person. Omar Alexander Cardman is next, and if you thought he couldn't run a mile, think again. He's on the run for an alleged murder that took place outside a barber shop in Los Angeles in the summer of 2019. On August 15th, the FBI released footage showing Omar walking into a mall. He appears to be an ordinary passerby, but then he disappears and returns to commit a shocking act. He walks up to a man and without hesitation shoots him in the head with a semi-automatic pistol, killing him instantly in broad daylight at 4 p.m. After the crime, he flees. The FBI video is chilling. Omar, who is believed to be linked to the Pier Street gang, is possibly hiding out in Mexico with his family. In 2021, a warrant was issued for murder and unlawful escape, making him a most wanted man. Despite the fact that Omar acted in broad daylight, authorities have few details about him. He weighs about 300 pounds, wears eyeglasses, has at least one tattoo, and is considered armed and dangerous. The lack of information makes him difficult to track down, but authorities still hope to arrest and extradite him. For now, Omar continues to elude justice, leaving many questions about how he managed to disappear. Wilver Vaz Palomino is one of the most wanted leaders of the National Liberation Army, ELN, a Marxist-Leninist guerrilla group in Colombia known for its long history of insurgencies and crimes. One of the main remaining insurgent forces in Colombia, the ELN has become one of the most powerful organized crime players in Latin America, extending its influence into Venezuela and increasing its strength to more than 6,000 members. Initially focused on kidnappings, extortion, and attacks on oil infrastructure, over the years the ELN has become deeply infiltrated into drug trafficking. In 2023, Wilver Vaz Palomino was added to the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list, charged with serious crimes including terrorism, murder, and drug trafficking. Known under the alias The Hog, Palomino played a key role in distributing drugs from Colombia to the United States in a network that spanned over 20 years. He was also accused of ordering the killings of numerous human rights defenders in Venezuela and the Catatumbo region of Colombia between 2017 and 2019. Due to his high-ranking position in the ELN and his involvement in drug trafficking, the FBI issued an arrest warrant for him in 2020. The U.S. State Department has offered a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to his capture. Investigations suggest that the ELN controls the production of more than 200 tons of drugs destined for the global market, including the United States, explaining why Palomino ended up on the most wanted list. His current whereabouts are unknown, but his involvement in one of the world's most dangerous drug trafficking networks makes his capture a top priority. Ruja Ignatova, known as the Queen of Cryptocurrencies, has become one of the FBI's most wanted criminals for her role in a financial scam of extraordinary proportions. In 2016, she presented herself to the world with great charisma at an event in London, promoting OneCoin, her cryptocurrency, as superior to Bitcoin. She promised exorbitant profits, attracting investors who, unknowingly, found themselves involved in a pyramid scheme that between 2014 and 2016 raised over $4 billion. Over time, many investors began to suspect that OneCoin was a scam, which attracted the attention of the authorities. Ignatova, aware of the fraud from the beginning, fled in 2016 and has since disappeared without a trace. Some of her associates were arrested, but Ruja remained elusive, probably hiding abroad with a fake passport. Her skills and charm, which could have been used for good, instead served to fool thousands of people, making her story a dramatic example of ambition and deceit in the world of cryptocurrencies. Next up is Ulan Aden Archiga Kayas, known as Porky, the boss of the Mstradici, a gang that was formed in Los Angeles in the 1980s to protect Salvadoran immigrants from other gangs. Over the years, the Mara Salvatrucha has become one of the most violent criminal organizations in the world. Today, the Mstradici is active not only in El Salvador, but also in Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, the United States, Canada, and Spain, with activities ranging from drug trafficking to human trafficking to extortion. Ulan Aden Archiga, aka Porky, was a key player in the Mstradici in Honduras, managing vital resources such as weapons, drugs, and money. He is wanted by the FBI for trafficking large amounts of drugs and murdering rival gang members. His criminal record is extensive, with charges ranging from murder to racketeering to drug trafficking conspiracy. Despite a slight frame of around 160 pounds, Porky has become one of the most powerful figures in Honduras, where the Mstradici has held sway for years. One of the most dramatic moments of his criminal career occurred when, during a hearing, he was arrested by Honduran authorities. A group of 20 armed men, dressed as anti-gang police, attacked the courthouse, killing 4 officers and freeing Porky, consolidating his reputation as an extremely Because of his crimes, the FBI is offering a $5 million reward for information on his capture. Despite the search, Porky is elusive. He is believed to be hiding in Honduras and uses encrypted phone numbers from Israel and Poland to communicate, making him difficult to track. He will likely be one of the most dangerous and difficult to capture fugitives on the list. Vitelhom innocent. Innocent by name but not by nature. Despite the significance of his last name, his actions paint him as anything but harmless. His mug shot on the FBI's 10 most wanted list reveals a man with a wild and dangerous appearance, with wide eyes and bared teeth, just as one would expect from a kingpin accused of wreaking havoc on a nation. With a $2 million bounty for serial kidnappings, he claims to be under divine protection, but those who meet him describe him as capable of great charm. Powerful and surrounded by armed guards, he makes an effort to appear hospitable, offering food and deep conversation to visitors, displaying a singular mix of terror and charisma. As the leader of the Haitian gang Craze Barrier, Innocent made headlines in October 2021 by orchestrating the kidnapping of 17 missionaries, including 5 children, demanding a ransom of $1 million per hostage. After payment, the group reportedly immediately invested in weapons. Innocent's power grew even more after the assassination of Haitian President Moise in 2021, expanding his domain and even recruiting children. With a gang of 600 members, he again kidnapped U.S. citizens in 2022, demanding ransom and leaving one victim behind. In November 2023, he was placed on the FBI's most wanted list, but continues to elude capture, even appearing on CNN in April 2024, displaying ostentatious luxury in stark contrast to the surrounding misery. In that interview, he blamed local politicians for the situation in Haiti, saying he once had legal businesses that were destroyed by the government. He is part of an armed coalition, Vivan Sam, that rejects foreign intervention and maintains control through brutal means, but denies ordering kidnappings. The interview, conducted in a secure environment, was primarily aimed at raising awareness of his crimes. Despite the attention, the chances of arresting him remain slim, given his influence and the support of the armed gang that backs him.